Say that no disrespect to most of my other guests on this show, but it's not often I get to say this is going to be a treat. But this is going to be a treat to welcome a hero of mine. You probably hear that a lot from a lot of people around, at least around this neck of the woods. Thurman Thomas is in the studio. Buffalo Bills legend, icon, Hall of Famer.
How you doing, man?
How's that for an introduction so
that's
far?
great, man. I like when people put that HOF on there.
Yeah, 2007. That was a big deal for you.
It really was a big deal for me. Not only for myself and my family, but I think just from all the heartbreak that the Bills fans have suffered through the 4 years we went to the Super Bowl. I mean, it started with Marv Levy going in 2001. Yeah. Jim Kelly going in 2002, and myself. You had James Lofton. So
Bruce
I mean,
Smith,
Bruce Smith. I mean, it's been really a nice treat for the Buffalo Bills fans, and I think with us going in as quickly as we have, is something that the fans can really grasp onto. We didn't win a Super Bowl, but this is something that we're kind of giving back to the fans of going into the Hall of Fame, and it was my year and Bruce's year. It was just great to be in that atmosphere in Canton, Ohio, and see all the Bills fans. It was just unbelievable.
And I think largely you gave us all chills. The kind of chills that we would have probably had when if you guys ever hosted that Super Bowl trophy, right? I mean, it would have been the same kind of feeling. Now, you're here for www.billsintoronto.com. That's the website. Buffalo Bills are going to be here in, I guess, just about a week. Thursday next week, December the 3rd. It's going to be a very big event. What does it mean bringing the team to Toronto?
Well, you know what? I think it means a lot. Not only I know there's a lot of people in Buffalo that are kind of upset that they're playing games here, but I think overall, when you look at it, a lot of the Bills players, we come to Toronto a lot. And when you think about the Bills, they have Canada Day in Buffalo, and so I just think it's great marketing by Mr. Wilson and Russ Brandon for them to put a package together like this, because Buffalo's a small market, and people want to, being an owner of an NFL team or any sports team, you want to make money.
That's the bottom line,
right? That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
You want to make money, and you want to try to get your product out there as much as you possibly can. So I just think that it was a great idea that they came up with. I know a lot of people, they try to read into a lot of different stuff that, the Bills might be moving to Toronto, but, and I always tell people, you have to get all the owners to agree to this if the Bills move to Canada.
Yeah, it's not just one guy.
It's just not one guy saying, okay, we're moving here, we're doing this. I think you got to get all the owners' votes and all that stuff. But I just think it's a great way to, with the economy the way it is, I think it's just another great way that Mr. Wilson has come up with another idea to get revenue for his football team. I mean, the guy's a businessman.
Plus, you got the idea that there are a lot of Canadian fans, myself included, that make the pilgrimage down every Sunday.
Right.
Every Sunday that there's a home game, we deserve a little bit of something as well.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that's what Mr. Wilson has been doing over the last couple of years since they made this pact with Rogers Communication. They're giving back to the Toronto fans by having a game up here, having a preseason game up here, and the game that they're going to have up here against the Jets on December the 3rd. It's at 8:20 on NFL Network, so everybody will get to see it, and you'll get to see the Toronto fans, the Bills/Toronto fans in action. So it'll be something great for not only the league but for the city of Buffalo and Toronto.
And you can check it out, billsintoronto.com. We've got the link up on our website on the Ryan Doyle Show page as well. If you want to go to newstalk1010.com, just go to the Ryan Doyle Show page, or 610cktb.com if you're in the St. Catharines, Niagara region, because there's a lot of people in that neck of the woods too that make that pilgrimage down. Let's talk a little bit about the team this year. It's not exactly the best season in the world. This is a season that had a lot of hope. You got a guy like Terrell Owens coming in. You've got a young quarterback in Trent Edwards. You think everything is going to go pretty decent. They have this one game against New England. They come out of the gate like there's no tomorrow. Everything goes great until the last play of the game. It seems like there might be a little bit of a jinx or a little bit of a curse going on here.
Well, I think in the Buffalo Bills history, you can go back and look at a lot of things that might be a curse for this football team and for the city of Buffalo. But, you look at it. The thing that I like about this football team is that it's a very young football team.
Sure.
They've built up over the years. I mean, it's been 9 years since they haven't been to the playoffs, but I think over the last couple of years, they've really done well in drafting players, having Trent. Trent hasn't turned out the way that I think everybody wanted him to turn out, but you got guys like Leotis McKelvin. You got Jarris Bird.
Dante Whitner.
Dante Whitner.
Yep.
You know, you got a lot of young football players on this football team, and I think that's the thing that people need to look at, that this team, even though it hasn't had a lot of success over the last couple of years, it's a young football team that has dealt with a lot, especially injuries on the offense and defensive side of the ball. They got rid of Dick Geron, and Perry Fuel is the interim head coach right now. So there's a lot of things going on right now, but I think right now we're seeing from a lot of quotes and a lot of things from Mr. Wilson and what he's talking about, he's
serious about success.
He's ready to start feeling good again, because I don't think he might live to 110, he might not. But
he wants that Super Bowl.
You know what? I think he's gotten to a point now where it's like, you know what? If I'm going to go, I want to go out happy.
Absolutely.
I want to go out with the best coach, the best quarterback, the best whoever, running back or whatever. I want to go out and I want to get – because I always said, even with this football team back in the early 90s, you know, a lot of the revenue stream that the Bills used to get, but because of merchandise. If you put a great team out on the football field, and Mr. Wilson, I think right now is looking at that and saying, okay, if we get, I don't know, Mike Shanahan or Bill Cowher or whatever, you know, if we have 30 suites that are empty, within a week those seats will be sold. And then you'll start getting more merchandise because you'll start winning again.
Yeah.
And, you know, and when you live in Buffalo, if you win, people will buy
anything
that you put the Bills on. It don't matter what it is. I mean, you can go from, I don't know, dried poop. If you put Bills on it, they will buy it.
Bibles to condoms. It doesn't matter.
They will buy it no matter what.
NFL great Thurman Thomas is my guest this evening. You mentioned Mike Shanahan. There's been a lot of buzz today, especially about the idea of Mike Shanahan becoming the new head coach next year. Would that be a fit for the team?
Well, you know what? I think what the Bills are doing right now, yes, it's great to talk about Mike Shanahan coming here or Bill Cowher coming here, whoever might come here. But I think right now what the fans and what Mr. Wilson and Russ and all the guys over, just focus on what Perry's doing right now. I mean, focus on what he's doing right now to see, because really when you think about the players and the injuries that this team has had over the last really 2 years, but especially this year, a lot of these players are up for audition also, because if you bring in a new coach, they're going to want their type of players. And some of these players that are on the roster right now might not be their type of players. So they're really auditioning right now, not only for themselves to be on this football team, but also maybe be on another football team after this year. So, you know, all the talk is great. Shanahan coming in here, Cowher coming in here, or whoever comes in there, I think they realize that they do have a young football team that they can get better.
If Thurman Thomas is the head of the Buffalo Bills next year, or the general manager or the coach, we'll put you in that position next year, would you keep Terrell Owens? Is it a possibility to keep Terrell Owens, or is this guy just a one-year deal and he's gone? Well,
you know what? We've been looking for a game like they had last,
198 yards.
We've been looking for that, and I think, you know, it has been a struggle for T.O. because he's always been in a situation where he's had Donovan McNabb, he's had Jeff Garcia, he's had Tony Romo, and I think the quarterback situation in Buffalo is not the greatest, but you know these guys are really kind of learning to be with T.O. But I think it all depends on the coach. Wherever the coach is next year, if he wants T.O. on his football team to be able to be productive, I think it all, for me personally, if I can try to avoid the injuries and get me a top-notch quarterback and get me a coordinator that can go through the offseason and put a game plan together, I'd love to have him back.
Yeah.
I think he's been great. You know, I mean, he's been great for the city of Buffalo. He's been great for the organization. You know what? When you don't win and you have a lot of injuries like they've had, yeah, things get bottled up. Things get heated up sometimes. But I think overall he's done a great job being in Buffalo since they signed him in March.
I want to take a quick pause in the action here, and we're going to come back more with Thurman Thomas in just a second. We'll talk a little bit more about the Bills in Toronto. You can go to the website, billsintoronto.com, and we'll talk a little bit about the past Buffalo Bills as well. It would be a mistake not to mention it. That's all still to come as the Ryan Doyle Show continues.